Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Life comes with a lot of decisions, and it can be hard to know the right path sometimes. A therapist can help you map out what you really want, so you trust yourself to make great choices and feel excited about the future. BetterHelp offers convenient professional online therapy on your schedule, however you want it, by phone, chat, or video call. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
Now, the greatest story never told with Miles and Drep.
Oh, man, 19 episodes, we haven't been fired yet. This is amazing. The greatest story never told as we now beam our satellites, I believe, to Westminster, Maryland. How you doing, hon?
Well, I'm like a hooded falcon, tarnished like a bad penny, Miles.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Steve Tripper.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
You know, it's our live studio audience cheering.
They are amazing. We have about 50 people in here. What's that?
They sound great.
They love, we could say anything, and they love us. AIDS.
See, Drep, you never commanded an audience quite like we do.
Cancer.
Oh, yeah, I know you do.
Yeah. How you been, man?
Pretty good. I'm just sitting around doing nothing but counting my days.
And how many? Well, you. I guess you ceremoniously retired. How did they explain that to you?
I'm retired. Just got my first Social Security check today.
Oh,
get out of here!
Boom.
When we worked in Baltimore, you were in charge of basically everything that went out over the air.
Yes.
And if it sounded great, and it was energetic, and it made a point, it was done by you. Other things were done by other people.
Yeah.
I would say that.
I mean, our stations were some of the best radio stations in America, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, seriously, from the time, 10 years in Baltimore on the radio and the stations that you were in charge of, 102.7, 105.7, WQSR, Mix 106.5, the stations were amazing, and that was a lot to do with what you did. Not only that, Orioles baseball, Maryland Terrapins.
Now that's where you made your money,
Ravens,
brother.
All that.
Baltimore Ravens.
Now I will say this. Early in my radio career, I'm fighting for a chance to get on the air, and we had to go to this big moment where I'm pretty sure I'm going to be fired because these two new bosses took over. A guy named Pasha, a guy named Phillips. Phillips is a Pasha's cool. So these guys, true statement. Phillips still works for us, still a but we show up and they have a meeting. There's 25 of us in the conference room. And Pasha and Phillips, they enter conversation. This is for a Ravens broadcast, and this was the moment in my radio career. And I'll always remember this. And they said, look, we're changing the way we're going to do this. 25 of you are in this room. For the first game of the regular season, 12 of you will be here. I'm low man on the totem pole. I'm out. They offered some different ideas for people to try to do. I said I'll try to do one thing, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, it's now the first NFL football game of preseason, all right? So, but now Drep, who we're speaking to now, this is your first time running this whole freaking shebang, right? So it's just you and me in the studio. And with an NFL broadcast, there's no – the NFL runs, I mean, the absolute most quintessential professional freaking broadcast you're going to do. They don't accept excuses. And so there's now me and Drep. It used to be 5 of us in the studio. That's the day we met. And Drep just said this to me. And I remember these words. He said, hey, man, you did this really stupid-ass package. And you pre-recorded something for the broadcast. Out of all these serious-ass wannabe sports guys that you're working with, yours is the only package that goes to syndication.
Because everyone.
That's right.
And that was one of the best moments I had in radio.
Yep. You were doing You were originally doing a Saturday night wrestling show.
Yeah. No, not wrestling. It was the original XFL, which everyone made fun of. And I said, I know it sucks, but this is the shot to get on the air. That's when I realized I work with people that are stupid.
Yep.
Yep, pretty much so. Are you still working with the Ravens and the Orioles?
Me?
Yeah. Who the hell do you think we're talking to?
Who in the hell else?
Do you think we're on the air?
No, not at all. I'm retired.
You are absolutely.
Okay, so you're full on retired.
So you're completely done. Do you remember anything that kind of stands out in your mind as far as working with us, and any memories that you have that kind of stand out as far as you trying to protect us, just dumb crap, all those things?
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, some things that the show originated on the AM station because that was before Howard was on our AM station, Howard, and then there was this opening between 10 and 2 before Don and Mike, and then so on. So the Thrill put this whole package together and then pitched it to the GM and Bill Pasta, and finally got a Drep, and I need you guys put it together and go on the air. And I remember that because this is before you got there, Miles, that it was I think like January 12th, my birthday, and it was a major blizzard. Remember that, Steve?
I do remember that. That's actually when Miles kind of started back at the. Oh no, that was a hurricane. My bad.
No, yeah, mine was a hurricane. Your phone keeps cutting out on us. We can't hear you.
All right, hold on a second. Let me move over.
No, you're fine.
In the house.
This is a dude that works in audio his whole life.
Walk into the sex dungeon. I know your kids are moved on.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
All right, we got you.
It started out on a blizzard there, and I remember being up at my house shoveling snow, laughing my ass off. It was just the funniest show I've ever heard in my life, and then that was just took off. And then it moved to the FM, and that's when you came on, Miles.
Correct.
Howard moved to the FM, Don and Mike. 105.7 or 127? 105.7. And then the whole thing where we right after Howard.
You know your phone keeps cutting out, which is somewhat comical for us, but it's
right. This is actually a great story.
I mean, you're reminding us of things we don't know, and right when it's a critical point, the phone blows.
Sorry.
You're the audio engineer of all times, and you're screwing us. You're the greatest production audio engineer
right,
we know of all times, and we can't get a goddamn line through to you to have this interview. What is wrong with you? Where do you live? Did
Can
you
you hear
move
me
in the
now?
middle? Yes.
All right. So anyway, the show moved to the FM. Miles came on, and that's when everything just took off like a rocket. We were between Howard Stern and Don and Mike, and we programmed against our competitors.
We don't care. We don't care about any of that. We want to know how many times you kept us from being fired.
Oh God, probably at least 30.
Okay, and do you remember any instance where you had to be brought in and they had to consult and say, "Drep, is this worth your time?"
Well, there was the porn star time.
Yeah,
we had to put up. We had to put up the paper, the newspaper because your studio looked right into the lobby where all the other people were coming for the 5 other stations. And we had to block this off. And then there was something with a banana and stuff like that. So,
what are you talking about? Well, banana a day, they say
Theater
now.
of the mind.
It's potassium. Is that not what they say?
Theater of the mind.
You're retired. You probably could use some potassium.
And also, what was the old porn star guy, curly hair?
Oh, Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that he came in. That was another one. Yep.
Do you remember when our boss?
Wait. Here's the one that never got on the air that you guys wanted to do and I wanted to do, but they wouldn't let it go. And that is the greatest idea I've ever heard in my life. This is when Viagra and Cialis was going up against each other.
Yeah.
And you proposed that Miles would take Cialis and Steve would take Viagra and wear sweatpants and see which one would get a boner first.
No, we were going to.
We got it done, Drep.
We knew that we were going to both do that. It was a matter of who was bigger. So I think at that point in time, it was a chafe-off.
But Drep, just, we got it done in Seattle.
We actually did that. And none of us got laid.
It was called Stand to Be Counted. We all went home with an erection. No one had sex.
But they wouldn't let us do it then.
No, they wouldn't. No.
Bob Dole could
Mr.
stand up.
Phillips shut that down.
Yeah. Crazy living.
I will say that now here's one of these things that most people wouldn't know in radio. But look, you're retired. I don't work there anymore, so it doesn't matter. So Drep here would do all the imaging for the show. So when our show's going into or coming out of break, you would hear the guy saying, "Hey, welcome back to Out to Lunch," the name of the show at the time. And when you listen to it, there's this one weird, if you don't know, it sounded like a strange audio glitch. All right, so Mike, that's our producer sitting here now. Mike, you would hear like, "Welcome back to Out to Lunch with Miles and Thurl," right? And it goes back to the show. And everyone's like, what is that? Drep, who's a rebel at heart, never wanted to admit it. What he said was, "Welcome back to Out to Lunch, you f***s." But then he reversed, "You f***s." So it just went zip, and we did this every day for about a year.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you know, on the oldie station, for about a whole month, I had the station ID. Now, this is like the number one oldie station in America, got a Marconi Award. And the idea is like, this is WQSR, Kingsville, Baltimore. And then he said something in Spanish. And then it hit the ID, WQSR, blah, blah, blah. And it was, I have a kick in my pants.
So you've been trolling for a long time.
Nobody noticed for a whole month.
Until your one Spanish listener said, "Hey, I'm listening now to, the Temptations, and I just realized you offended me."
Yep.
Okay.
I have a chicken in my pants.
Right, exactly. Let's see here.
What about the origination of the shot of the day?
You know, man, honestly, I don't even remember.
Well, it was my idea because I came to you and I said, "Look, this would be really cool. Under the law, the FCC is only the person that signed onto the transmitter to take reading."
I do remember that. Yeah, this is my boss telling me this.
Everybody else can drink. And so at this point, it was 10 a.m. in the morning, and so we would invite personalities like Marty Bass.
Yeah.
And, weatherman on Channel 13, everybody to come over, and everybody every morning that came in to visit us would have to take a shot of liquor with us, and that's where the shot of the day started out with.
I do remember that.
Yes. Is he still on the air?
Huh?
Is Marty still on the air?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for the love of God, yes.
He is. Then I will tell my Marty Bass story about his Chrysler convertible.
And Bob Turk kind of lost his hearing. Then he got those ocular things like Rush Limbaugh has, but he's still just the worst. Like everybody just puts up with him because he's Bob Turk. We don't care.
Are you doing okay, man? Is Sarah okay? Your wife good?
Wife is good. She got a brand new knee, and she's still got about another 6 months before it actually starts working right. But, yeah, she can actually walk now without too much problem, so that was good.
Well, you guys still having your weird tantric sex in spite of that?
I know you're a weird fan of sex.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, the beeper bomb.
I'm glad your phone broke up.
Stench.
Yeah.
Painting.
The bog of eternal stench.
Perfect time.
Man, oh, man.
Drep, do you remember when Ron Jeremy came into the studio and all these people went up to our boss at the time and said, "I cannot believe that Ron Jeremy is here. This is one of the greatest moments of my life. Saleswomen are getting their picture taken with him and all that." And our boss walked in and did not know who he was.
Yeah, that's right.
This was like a 40-year-old man.
One of the greatest times was when the Ravens won the Super Bowl. And David, God rest his soul, brought the Super Bowl trophy into the studio. And everybody got to take pictures with it and held it and stuff like that. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah. That was a great time at the station. And you guys have probably told the story about how you snuck into Raven stadiums a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Security.
Oh, yeah. That was
hey,
good.
Man, we got good at that shit. I just want to be honest with you. Sorry, Mike. We are good at it.
How about them Dragons, man?
Hey, I'm down.
Oh, there you go.
We were there Saturday.
Yeah, man.
I watched them.
I got hammered and talked to Cam Chancellor for 20 minutes. And I didn't realize how much time had gone by, and I thought to myself, this is very cool. I'm glad I'm here. I'm also completely hammered, and it kind of brought me back to those days a little bit where I'm like,
oh, yeah.
wow, I've been day drinking since 11. This is good times. Because in Seattle, like, you can't really do that because we're not Seahawks fans.
Right.
So,
right.
like, we don't – it's not that we don't care, but we just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, our game came on at 10. So we don't really do that. Now we have a team that we can actually root on, much like how you started, Steve, with the XFL show.
Yeah, it's just that easy, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, for like all the years that I did the Ravens broadcast, the Ravens NFL broadcast, and I never ever got to go a game. I still haven't been to a game.
You're kidding.
Are you kidding me?
In the control studio, as setting up to the satellite and taking care of 9 million things at once. And Drew, you know that how much work it went into. We'd do the broadcast on Sunday, and then on Monday we'd have to sit around that stupid ass table in the conference room and figure out what. And these other knucklehead sports guys that don't know, sit around going, "Well, I think this and I think," and we're like, "Oh God, let's play this league. Let us in."
Yeah, you never play football. I will bring this one thing up. As far as Drep goes, Drep was assigned to give us things that we needed to do after we get off the air, right? Mm-hmm. So at one point in time, we would have a box with our name on it, and you would have to go and you'd have to cut spots. And that was part of your job. And like anything else, you did that. You sent it to Drep. He cleaned that crap up.
Right.
And then we put a commercial on the air. Whether it was like call 1-800-GEICO, go direct, whatever it was. We had to read this shit, and we had to you get it. It's a sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
So we have to do this, but we also had, this in our box on Friday, and typically Friday afternoon, for some reason.
For some reason, we're hammered.
Based on sales, all the late stuff would come in Friday afternoon. Could you please put this on? Could you please put that? That's the job of the production director, to try to keep the wolves away at the last possible minute, right? So we get this in our box, all right? But we also know that, we're going to be here because we have to do this show on Sunday morning at Jillian's and do a Ravens pregame. So our idea was we will go, we'll do the show, we'll come back because our car's here, and we will cut our spots and be done with the day, right? So
dear God, I remember that.
we plow out on Friday night, like, this. We're going to CVP for wings. We're going to go drink. We're going to get effed up. We go and we do it, and then we have our thing on Sunday. But we went to the station beforehand. We're like, oh, yeah, we have this production to do, right? So we're like, well, it. We're not going to do it in the morning because, we're going to get drunk. So we go to Jillian's with the promotions team. We come back, and then we go, holy shit, we have this production to do.
Mine was for Toyota. I remember this.
And I remember, I tried to do it, and I thought, maybe I'll come in Monday morning and cut it early. You cut it that night, Steve.
Look, I'm an effective employee, so I cut my entire commercial that night. I come in the next day, and Drep here says, hey, dumbass, come to my office. Next time you are that effed up and record a commercial, make sure you eliminate the file. Barely I left it on the computer, and Drep played it for me, and it's like, hey, this is Steve Hill. If you want to bet Toyota.
It sounded like Coach Buzz after the stroke, Drep.
Oh, yeah, I remember that specifically. I may still have it somewhere on the file.
Okay.
God.
Could you, if you do, could you send that to us?
Yeah, I'll look through the files.
Okay.
I'm a little anal retentive, so I've basically been saving every piece of audio to save since 1989.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Could you please look in your archives, just based on this podcast, where we get to play this crap? If you find anything, please let us know. We would love to play that back because us. We don't have an archive. We have no library.
Nothing.
We have no idea. If it's out there, it's out there, but we really don't have – it's kind of like going to the DNA guy. Like, where am I from?
Right.
We don't know, but we lived it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we were so effed up that most of the time that we don't remember half of these experiences, which is why this podcast is so damn hard.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you guys ask me for audio, like the time Ted came running down to Miles and says – hey, I run down to me and says, Miles and Steve want you to do sound of Nero peeing on fire while Rome burned. And I had no idea what it was, but I made the sound of Nero peeing on fire while Rome burned.
Now, see,
and the next time I hear it,
that's when you know you're good, because that's a ridiculous request.
Yeah. Hey, honest to God, Drep, I got to ask you, when we left, did people miss us, or were they so happy that we were out of that goddamn place?
they were so pissed, it's unbelievable. And so and outside the building and all the listeners, they were really pissed. I mean, it was just gone. And then, and I think they changed format or whatever. They went to a news talk or whatever it was.
Sports talk.
And then, no, they went to news talk first. They went to
That's right.
1057, what was it, WHFS.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if anybody asks, it's on Bob Phillips. And the son of a bitch knows it. Look, I don't care. He's still with our CFO, some bull. I don't care. But the point is, if I see him, I'm still right. Doesn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're a moron.
What are you going to do in retirement, Drep? You got any plans?
Not really. I'm just basically I've been working on the house, taking care of all the many things that have gone to hell since I've been working.
You've been working for 40 years.
Yeah, I worked at. By the way, I got laid off on the day of my 30th anniversary with the company.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Boom. But anyway, I started the Ravens in 2000, 2005, and in 2003 I got the Terrapins all the way to present day, and then I got the Orioles from 2007 to 2010. And then I got the Orioles back at 2014 to present day, and then also got the Towson Tigers at 11. So my whole life since like 2005, after you guys left, has been programming satellites and taking care of all these major sports networks.
Yep. And look, man, we've only been here for 15 years, so they're going to can us next year. So just so you know, you did double what we did.
Well, you know what? You guys ever need me, let me know, because I always send you stuff, on email.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
So,
you send us new
I also
pictures.
send you a lot of weird stuff. Like, what did I send you? What was that? The Man Pump Show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But do you realize that your wife...
There is a great podcast right now, the Man Pump Show.
But do you realize your wife just sent us emails about where you guys have f***ed all the time? You know what I mean? Like, That's what we get from her. Like, I love Steve behind the Ferris wheel. I love Steve behind the, corn dog hut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She still has a one-track mind.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. You guys know Steve Barrett, right?
Oh, yeah. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He worked for Sinclair. He's a major network operations guy for Sinclair Broadcasting.
You got to be kidding me.
No, that sounds about right.
You got to be kidding me.
Nope. He's a major network broadcast engineer for Sinclair. It's the biggest television operator in America.
How about Michael Franchetti?
Franchetti is in traffic.
Okay, so he's doing traffic reports.
He's actually in.
He's like sitting in traffic.
But wait, have you introduced him to Rogaine? I've been throwing it out there, bro.
Is anyone still there that we know? We know Maria Dennis is still there.
Nacho.
She's now over at LIF.
We know Greg Carpenter, LIF is still there. Jason Priestley. Yep. So most of those guys are still there.
Priestley's on afternoons on Mix. Jason Kidd is on mornings on The Drive, which is another intercom station in Washington.
Oh, get out of here. Very cool. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know what? That's crazy. Tell them all we said hi and that we're doing great out here, and we miss them.
And I want to tell you this. Our old boss, Bill Pasha, made three great decisions.
The good one, yeah.
One was giving the show a go-ahead back in the day, adding Miles to the show, and then sending you guys to Seattle in January 2005. That was the greatest decisions I've ever seen in my life. He's brilliant.
Hey, man, I would agree with him. I would agree with that. I absolutely would.
If you see him, tell him thank you.
I see him once a year. He usually rolls up here with his wife and his son. His son now pitches for a semi-mid college in southern something right near above Texas, Arkansas or wherever it is. But he's doing very good. He's going to be a major league pitcher someday.
On some level, that pisses me off.
Yeah, but you know what, man?
That's the Bill Pasha magic.
If anyone could do it, it's Bill Pasha.
That's exactly it.
That is very cool.
Oh yeah.
Drep, great talking to you again. Tell Sarah we said hi. Hope everything's good there on the medical end, and you got to find some stuff, send it back, and we'll get you back on.
Yeah, let us
right?
know, man.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a bunch of stuff. It'll let me give you a chance to get down in the studio again and send you some crazy stuff. And remember, 2-fingered butt saw.
Steve Drep, everybody. Greatest story never told.
You've been listening to The Greatest Story Never Told with Miles and Thrill on radio.com.
Oh, man. A Double Flush production.